What's up, guys? Your boys, 22K13. Gonna talk about 10 best candidates to supplant Seth Rollins as WWE Champion. Since capturing the WWE World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania 31, Seth Rollins has defended the belt against all comers in many thrilling matches on live television and pay-per-view. Comparison has been made between Rollins and the failed title run of CM Punk cycle 2008-2009, but that's surely. While there are physical similarities, Rollins is at a different place in his career than Punk was back then. One of the best in-ring workers available to WWE today. The man has went from strength to strength since entering the company in August 2010. Immediately posting to Florida Championship Wrestling upon his arrival. Rollins would win the FCW Tag Team title and the FCW Heavyweight title before eventually becoming the first ever NXT Heavyweight Champion in July 2012. Months later, Rollins was caught up and tasked with creating the Shield alongside both Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. The unit were powerful, but it has been as a single star that Seth Rollins has found the most success. Portrayed on TV as the crown jewel of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon group The Authority, the wrestler got big cheers when he captured the WWE title at Mania. The big question is, who is the most eligible candidate to rip that title from his grasp? Explored here are 10 different performers, all of whom could feasibly be the next champ. Number 10, Kevin Owens. Okay, so Kevin Owens may be pretty damn new to the main roster in WWE, but he had already shown he belonged near the top of the card, at the very least. Matches against John Cena have been an awesome starting point in establishing Owens as a main event level threat. And the best thing about them is that they haven't felt forced. At no juncture during the Cena vs. Owens feud had it come across that WWE are trying to shove the big man down the throat of fans. If recent rumors are to be taken with any real degree of seriousness, Seth Rollins could be about to turn babyface in the upcoming month. If that happened, there would be a perfect reason to book Kevin Owens against Rollins for the WWE title. Hell, going even further, Owens is still the NXT champion. Why not incorporate that into the feud and get that brand over a bit more? The reason Owens is so far down this list is simply due to his newcomer status. Because it seems less likely WWE creative team would want to put their top title on someone so new. That doesn't seem to happen so much in the modern era. Nonetheless, he had clicked with fans and has this far come across as a genuine badass. There are certainly less desirable choices. Number 9, Kane. For a lot of people, Kane may represent one of those less desirable choices, but he's definitely a viable contender. Over the past few months, it seemed only a matter of time before the big red machine would cut loose from The Authority and feud with Rollins over the WWE World Heavyweight title. The fact it hadn't yet happened is perhaps a minor miracle, because it makes perfect sense and would be an easy storyline. The crew of the story since WrestleMania have revolved around Kane, intense dislike for the cocky, brash young champion, yet having to protect his title reign due to his loyalty to Triple H and The Authority. It's a simple tale, and one which could be exploited for one big pay-per-view match. Realistically, Kane shouldn't be having a lengthy run with the WWE title, but he could be a decent make-weight title holder in the interim. Of course, by scheduling Kane to defeat Seth Rollins, WWE will run the risk of harming one of their most valuable performers. Kane isn't really a top guy in 2015, but he does have significant history behind him that longtime fans may rally behind him as a babyface. Alternatively, if he were to screw a freshly turned face Rollins out of the belt, there's heat to be gained there. Number 8. Rusev. The big Bulgarian brute may be on the injury list at the moment, but he's not likely to be out for longer than a few months. Breaking his foot during an episode of SmackDown in late May, Rusev was forced to miss the Elimination Chamber and Money in the Bank shows as a consequence. That had had a direct impact on his ongoing feud with Dolph Ziggler, who had become enamored with Rusev's former love interest, Lana. By the time Rusev is cleared to wrestle again, it may be too late to resume the rivalry. We could open up the big man for bigger and better things, much like Kevin Owens. Rusev benefited from feuding with John Cena in early 2015, even defeating his more illustrious opponent at the Fastlane pay-per-view and featuring against him on the grand stage of WrestleMania. That right there was a show of faith from WWE that the guy is someone they have big plans for. The question is, would a Rusev return later on in the year be the ideal time for him to break loose and enter the mix for the WWE title? Now, standing alone without Lana, the guy will have to cut his own promo and live and die by his ability to do so. He already shown he can wrestle great bouts, but can he take that next step up the card? If Seth Rollins did turn babyface, don't count Rusev out as a possible opponent. Number 7. Bray Wyatt. Similarly, Bray Wyatt would be a can't-miss rival for Seth Rollins should the latter turn. One of the best talkers currently on the main roster. The statistic Wyatt had been treading water somewhat since his program against The Undertaker, which culminated at WrestleMania, having been part of WWE featured television show for a few years now, under the guise of the mysterious character. There's an argument to be made that Wyatt doesn't need a belt, but it wouldn't hurt. Exploring that idea for a second, Bray Wyatt is such a strong character that winning titles doesn't necessarily define him. It's been a smart move of WWE to keep him away from belts such as the Intercontinental title because the temptation would be to simply have him hold it for a few months before losing it in some nondescript fashion. In other words, what's the point? The WWE World Heavyweight title is different because it still acts as a symbol of the promotion, of the faith, and a wrestler. The old World Heavyweight Championship was put on a few surprising names, Jack Swagger, for example, but the WWE belt is a crown jewel. Wyatt could easily reason that the title had made Rollins a puppet for WWE, and he wants to set him free, while obviously just wanting the strap for himself. Number 6. John Cena. In 2015, John Cena had been kept away from the WWE World Heavyweight title picture, something which has shown itself to be a smart move from those in charge. Cena had already held the belt more than anyone else on the roster, so there's no real need for him to consciously be involved in the title picture, but that doesn't mean he won't be again. By holding the United States Championship, the franchise player in WWE has had immediately helped that belt gain some credence. Beforehand, it was simply a prop passed around from wrestler to wrestle without any real care. Over the shoulder of John Cena, it means a little more, something evident by the response to his U.S. opening challenge segment on Monday Night Raw. It seemed only a matter of time before Cena is itching to get back in the main event scene, however. But just how would WWE play it out? It's unlikely that Cena would outright turn heel, something which had been discussed to death. But would a babyface Seth Rollins be strong enough to combat his character? Only time would tell. But Cena belonged on any list exploring possible future champions, given his history and WWE reliability on him. Number 5, Triple H. A bit out of left field maybe, but even though Triple H is very much a part-time pro wrestler nowadays, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean there's no chance he could be WWE champion again. Put it this way, Vince McMahon bagged the belt in 1999, and he wasn't even an actual professional wrestler. Well, Triple H is still capable of pulling on the tight and going toe-to-toe with someone. The long-running storyline between he and Seth Rollins is very much reminiscent of the real-life scenario between the Game and Vince McMahon. There are certainly elements there. Triple H sees a lot of himself in Rollins and has put his entire faith behind the idea that he is the man to help carry WWE as a company forward. It's been a great story, one which has helped teleport Rollins to the top, but all good things must come to an end in wrestling angle. Perhaps an earlier entry, Kane could be used to discard Rollins from the authority, paving the way for Triple H to then declare the younger wrestler a failure. Because he started to believe his own hype, fans would likely find it easy to rally behind the former member of the Shield, especially against the tyrannical Triple H, and it could make for an ideal match to place on a major pay-per-view such as SummerSlam or the Survivor Series. Number 4, Roman Reigns. Poor Roman Reigns. It seemed the man deemed most likely to bag the WWE title first upon the disbanding of the Shield could actually end up being the last. Seth Rollins had the title, Dean Ambrose had the fans, yet Reigns had been left out in the cold somewhat after initially looking to be the most over member of the infamous faction. It seemed only a matter of time before Roman will capture the WWE World Heavyweight title, but the company made a smart move by not shoehorning the belt onto him at WrestleMania. It wasn't really the right time, and the Money in the Bank cash in from Rollins gave creators the perfect out to prevent them from having to book either Brock Lesnar or Reigns to lose in the main event. So when exactly can Roman Reigns expect to haul that belt around in his luggage? He behind quite a few on this list in terms of realistically being the one to end Seth's title run. But he should never be counted out as a potential champion. WWE are bidding their time with the big man, burned a little by a frosty fan reception to his push, but recognizing that he could still be a big star. If Rollins can hold on to the gold for another few months, there's every chance that Reigns could be one of his next contenders. Number 3, Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose has had ample opportunity as the WWE top title in recent months, but the promotion seems to like the idea of him being a supremely over babyface challenger rather than an outright winner. There are similar elements to Daniel Bryan there, who was far more effective when chasing the belt than he was holding it. Something which only made his WrestleMania 30 achievement all the more satisfying. For Ambrose, it seemed only natural that he'll one day be given the key to the proverbial WWE Championship Kingdom. But imagine he wasn't. Is it even possible to have an over main event guy who never wins the top belt in the modern era? It seemed implausible that the lunatic friend would go through his career without holding the gold, just like Roddy Piper, Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude, and others, but that could play into the story. If Seth Rollins remains a heel and WWE wants to pick up the Ambrose versus Rollins rivalry once more, that should be the reigning championship pitch. That Ambrose simply can't get the job done when push comes to the shove. Sure, it's a done to death tale, but Ambrose has sufficient fan support, and people will pop like crazy if he did win the big one. Number 2, Sheamus. Looking at the situation plainly, it seems very unlikely that Sheamus will elect to cash in the Money in the Bank previous and lose, forfeiting the briefcase without replacing it with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. According to recent reports, Triple H was the one lobbying for the big Irishman to win a Money in the Bank, feeling he need rebuilding somewhat in order to be taken seriously as a top contender again. Going forward, it seems that Sheamus will win a feud against Randy Orton, meaning WWE are going to hold off on any cash-in until the right moment. That seems smart, but imagine the guy was revealed as the new face of the Authority, tied in with backstage reports. There's an argument to be made for the cool moment of Sheamus emerging in front of a beaten down Seth Rollins, excommunicated from the Authority, before cashing in his briefcase and bagging the title. As a fully fledged heel, Sheamus could also then hammer Kane, eliminate another problem performer for Triple H in the process. From there, the game could take on the same role Ric Flair did for him years ago, becoming a mentor of sorts for Sheamus. And number 1, Brock Lesnar. As recently revealed, Brock Lesnar will be the next main challenger for Seth Rollins at WWE Battleground pay-per-view on July 19th. This is where talk of a Rollins babyface turn has come from, because he is surely the underdog when heading into a situation where he's one-on-one with such a titanic beast. If one thing is for certain, the match between the pairing will be physical, but it could be an ideal opportunity to really entrench Rollins into the role of being just that good as WWE Champion. If he were to defeat someone like Lesnar one-on-one, it could be covered with various bells and whistles without harming either wrestler. On the flip side, maybe Brock will cream him and gain revenge for Seth's interruption at WrestleMania. As it stands, Brock Lesnar is the most likely man by far to next hold the WWE title, replacing Rollins in the process. There's that little shade of doubt in there though. What if Sheamus were to interject himself into the situation? Alternatively, maybe someone like Dean Ambrose, hell-bent on getting his hands on Rollins, could serve to accidentally cost Lesnar the gold. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.